My beloved child. Stop scrolling, just for a moment. I know you were not planning to hear this right now. I know your mind is busy, your hands are occupied, your thoughts are scattered across 100 unfinished worries, but something deeper than chance brought you here. Something unseen slowed your thumb, held your breath for a second longer, and whispered, "Stay." What you are about to hear was not randomly placed in your path. It found you because it had to. Listen closely. There is a silence around you that you have not noticed yet, a subtle shift, like the air just before a storm, like the quiet before a door opens. You feel it, don't you? That slight tightening in your chest, that faint unease you couldn't explain all day. You told yourself it was nothing. You tried to move on. But it stayed. It stayed because it is not nothing. My beloved child, there are only moments that matter right now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Not when everything feels more convenient. Right now. Because your daughter, yes, your daughter, she is standing at a crossing point, and she does not even realize how close she is to stepping into something that cannot be undone easily. Pause here. Let that sink in. You were not told this directly. No one came to you with clear words. No alarm sounded. No message appeared on your phone. But something inside you has been trying to reach you for days, maybe longer. A quiet nudge. A fleeting thought. A sudden urge to check on her, to ask one more question, to look a little deeper into her eyes. And you ignored it. Not because you don't care, but because life distracted you. Because everything seemed normal on the surface. Because she smiled. Because she said she was fine. But listen to me now, not everything that looks calm is safe. Something is unfolding behind the scenes of her life, something subtle, something quiet, something that does not announce itself loudly. It hides in ordinary moments. It blends into her routine. It whispers instead of shouts. And that is why it is dangerous. My beloved child, you have always believed that you would protect her from anything serious. That if something truly wrong was happening, you would know immediately. You trusted your instincts, and your instincts have not failed you before. So why do you feel this now? Why does your heart feel slightly heavier as you listen? Why does a part of you want to pause this and walk away, while another part is pulling you deeper into these words? Because truth has a way of finding the cracks in your comfort. And right now, something is trying to break through. Your daughter is not where you think she is emotionally. She is carrying something she has not shared. Something she doesn't even know how to put into words yet. It started small, just a feeling, just a curiosity, just a moment she thought would pass. But it didn't pass. It grew. Quietly. And now, it is beginning to shape her choices. You might be thinking, no, not my child. I would know. But listen carefully, this is not about distrust. This is not about blame. This is about awareness. Because even the closest hearts can drift silently when something enters their world that they do not fully understand. And she doesn't understand it yet. That's the part that should concern you. She believes she is in control. But she is standing closer to influence than she realizes. Closer to a decision that feels small now, but will echo louder later. And here is the part that will be hard to hear. You were meant to notice sooner. Yes, you. Not because you failed, but because you were chosen to be the one who sees what others cannot. The one who senses what others miss. The one who steps in before things go too far. That role was given to you for a reason. And right now, that reason is calling you again. Do you remember that moment recently, when you almost asked her something deeper, but stopped yourself? Do you remember when you looked at her and felt like something was slightly different, but you brushed it off? That was not random. That was the moment. And there will not be many more like it. My beloved child, time is moving differently than you think. While you are listening to this, something is already progressing in her world. A conversation. A message. A thought forming into action. It is happening quietly, but it is happening. You still have time. But not as much as you believe. This is not about fear, do not misunderstand. This is about awakening. About seeing clearly. About stepping into the moment before it slips away. Because if you wait, if you tell yourself, I'll talk to her later, or, it's probably nothing, you may miss the exact window where your presence could change everything. And you don't want to discover that later. You don't want to look back and realize. There was a moment you could have reached her, and you didn't. That is why you are here now. That is why these words found you. Because something in the unseen realm refused to let this pass unnoticed. My beloved child, she is not lost. Understand this clearly. She is not beyond reach. But she is at a point where direction matters more than ever. And direction comes from you. Not from control. Not from force. But from presence. From attention. From a question asked at the right time. In the right way, with the right energy. You don't need to confront her. You don't need to accuse her. You need to connect with her. But here is where most fail. They wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. And now is already fragile. Feel what is happening inside you as you hear this. That slight urgency. That pull. That awareness rising, that is not coincidence. That is alignment. You are being positioned. But you must act with clarity, not hesitation. Because hesitation is what allowed this situation to grow unnoticed in the first place. And if you hesitate again, it may grow beyond what you can easily reach. My beloved child, something is about to be revealed. Not fully yet, not all at once, but piece by piece. And when you see it, when you finally understand what has been happening beneath the surface, it will change how you look at the last few days, the last few conversations, the last few silences. You will start connecting things you didn't notice before. You will remember moments that felt small, but were not. And in that realization, you will understand why this message had to reach you now. But you must stay. Do not leave yet. Because what comes next will make everything clearer. There is a detail, something subtle, something you have overlooked, that holds the key to everything. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. It will shift everything. And you will realize. This was never random. This was never coincidence. This was a warning. And what you do next will decide what happens to her. Stay with me, because in the next moment, I am going to show you exactly what you've been missing, and why these next few minutes matter more than you think, my beloved child. Do not move away now. I felt your hesitation, that small pause where your mind tried to pull you back into distraction, telling you this could wait, telling you this might be nothing. But if it were nothing, you would not still be here. Something inside you knows. And now, I will show you what has been hidden in plain sight. You have been looking at your daughter, but you have not been seeing her fully. Not because you do not love her, but because what she is carrying has learned how to stay just beneath the surface. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It blends into her normal behavior so perfectly that even a watchful heart can miss it. But there were signs. Small ones. The way her eyes lingered somewhere else when you spoke to her. The way her answers became shorter, not distant enough to alarm you, but different enough to mean something. The way she held her phone, closer than before, like it had become a space she didn't want to share. You noticed these things, didn't you? But you dismissed them. You told yourself it was just a phase, just growing up, just mood changes. And yes, sometimes it is. But this time, it is not only that. My beloved child, there is an influence that has entered her world. Not loudly, not obviously, but consistently. It did not arrive with danger written on it. It came as something harmless, something interesting, something that made her feel seen in a way she did not expect. At first, it felt safe to her. Comforting, even. And that is how it began. It started with a simple interaction, something that seemed ordinary, a conversation that didn't feel threatening. She didn't think twice about it. She didn't think she needed to tell you. Why would she? It didn't feel important. But what she didn't realize is that not everything that feels safe is meant to stay. Because some things don't reveal their weight immediately. They grow into it. Slowly. Quietly. Until one day, they begin to pull. My beloved child, your daughter is standing at that point right now. The point where something that once felt light is beginning to carry weight, emotional weight, mental weight. The kind that starts shaping how she feels about herself, about others, about you. And here is what you have not seen yet. She is confused. Not broken, not lost, but confused. Because part of her feels drawn toward this new presence, this new voice in her life, and another part of her feels something is not right. But she cannot explain it. She cannot define it. So she stays silent. And silence is where this grows stronger. You might be asking yourself, what is it? Who is it? What is happening exactly? Stay with me. I will not rush this, because understanding it too quickly would make you react instead of respond. And reaction could push her further away right now. What you need is clarity. Because this is not just about stopping something. This is about reaching her before she closes a door you may not be able to reopen easily. My beloved child, there is a pattern forming. A pattern you can still interrupt, but only if you see it clearly. She has started to create a space that does not include you. Not intentionally, not out of rejection, but out of comfort. A space where she feels she can explore thoughts and feelings without being questioned. And while that may seem natural, What has entered that space is guiding her in ways she does not fully understand. That is the danger. Not immediate harm, but quiet direction, subtle shaping. And if left unchecked, it becomes influence. And influence becomes decision. You are still before that final step, but not far from it. My beloved child, I need you to listen very carefully now, because what I am about to reveal will connect everything. There is a moment, a specific moment, that has already happened, where she crossed from curiosity into emotional attachment. It did not feel like a big decision. It felt like a small shift. A moment where she chose to continue instead of step back. You were not there when it happened, but you felt something change after. You just couldn't name it. That moment is the key. Because once you understand it, you will understand why she is acting the way she is now, why she hesitates, why she hides small things, why she seems both present and distant at the same time. And when you see it, you will realize this is not something you can ignore. But do not let fear enter your heart. Fear will make you rush. And rushing will make you break the very bridge you need to walk on. What you must carry instead is calm awareness. Because she does not need confrontation right now. She needs recognition. She needs to feel that you see her, not just what she is doing, but what she is feeling underneath it. And that requires something most people forget in moments like this. Patience. My beloved child, the next few steps you take will matter more than anything you have done so far. Not because everything depends on perfection, but because everything depends on timing. Say too much too soon, and she will retreat. Say nothing, and she will drift. But there is a way, a precise way, to reach her without pushing her away. And I am going to guide you to it. But first, you must understand one more thing. There is something she is about to do. Not something catastrophic, not something that will instantly break everything, but something that will deepen this connection, something that will make it harder for her to step back later. It may seem small from the outside, but it is not small. It is the kind of step that turns a passing phase into a lasting path. And that step is closer than you think. My beloved child, this is why time matters now. Not in days. Not in weeks. But in moments. Because once that step is taken, your role becomes harder, your voice becomes quieter in her world, and the distance begins to feel normal to her. You still have a window. But it is narrowing. And I can feel your heart reacting as you hear this, the questions forming, the concern rising, the urge to act immediately. Hold that feeling, but do not let it control you. Because what you do next must be intentional. You are not here to stop her life. You are here to guide it back before it moves too far in the wrong direction. And that requires something deeper than urgency. It requires understanding. And that understanding is about to become clear. Because in the next moment, I will reveal the exact sign you need to look for, the one detail that will confirm everything I have told you, the one thing that will remove all doubt from your mind. And when you see it, you will know exactly what to do next. But be prepared. Because once you recognize it, you will not be able to pretend everything is normal anymore. And that is where your true role begins, my beloved child. Stay with me. Do not let your thoughts scatter now. I can feel the weight building inside you, the questions pressing harder, the need for certainty rising like a tide you can no longer ignore. That is not weakness. That is awareness waking up. And now, you are ready to see what you have been missing. There is a sign. A quiet, almost invisible shift that has already taken place. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. But it is unmistakable once you notice it. Your daughter has begun to guard something. Not in an obvious way, not by locking doors or creating distance you can clearly point to. No, it is more subtle than that. It is in the way she reacts when something unexpected interrupts her private space. The way her body language changes for just a second, the way her attention snaps away. The way she becomes slightly defensive without knowing why. You have seen it. Maybe when you walked into the room and she quickly adjusted her screen, not in panic, but in instinct. Maybe when you asked a simple question and she hesitated just a fraction longer than usual before answering. Maybe when her tone shifted, just slightly, as if she was choosing her words more carefully than before. These are not random behaviors. They are signals. Signals that something has become important enough in her world that she feels the need to protect it. And protection always follows attachment. My beloved child, this is the moment where everything becomes clear. Because what she is protecting is not just an activity, not just a distraction, it is a connection. Something that makes her feel understood in a way she has not expressed to you yet. Something that feels like a space where she can be seen without judgment. And that feeling is powerful. It is the kind of feeling that can quietly pull someone away without them realizing they are drifting. But listen carefully. This does not mean she loves you less. This does not mean you have lost her. It means she is at a point where she is discovering something new, something that feels significant to her, and she does not yet know how to balance it with the life she already has. And that is where you come in. Because if you approach this the wrong way, you will confirm her fear that she cannot share this part of her world with you. And if that happens, she will close the door completely. But if you approach it the right way, you will become the one person she turns to when everything becomes too much for her to carry alone. That is the difference between distance and trust. My beloved child, I know what you are feeling right now. The urge to ask directly, to demand answers, to uncover everything immediately. It feels justified. It feels necessary. But it is not the path that will reach her. Because what she is experiencing is fragile. If you press too hard, it will break into silence. If you ignore it, it will grow without guidance. So what do? You step closer, but gently. You create a moment, not an interrogation. You choose a time when the world around both of you is quiet, when there is no rush, no pressure, no expectation. And in that moment, you do something simple, something that may feel small, but carries more power than anything else you could say. You listen. Not to respond. Not to correct. But to understand. Because she is waiting for that, even if she does not realize it. She is waiting for a moment where she feels safe enough to open the door just a little. And if you are present in the right way, she will. But there is something else you must be prepared for. When she begins to open up, what she shares may not match what you expected. It may challenge your assumptions. It may make you feel uncomfortable. It may not immediately make sense. Do not react. Do not interrupt. Do not turn that moment into correction. Because that first opening is everything. If you handle it with calm, with patience, with quiet strength, she will open more. If you react with fear, with judgment, with intensity, she will close again, and next time, it will be harder. My beloved child, this is the moment where your presence becomes more powerful than your words. Because she does not need perfection from you. She needs steadiness. She needs to feel that no matter what she says, you will not disappear, you will not turn away, you will not become someone she has to hide from. And if you give her that, even for a few minutes, you will begin to shift everything. But remember what I told you. There is a step she is close to taking. And that step is tied to a moment of decision, a moment where she will either go deeper into this connection, or hesitate. Your presence, your timing, your energy, can influence that moment more than you realize. But only if you reach her before it happens. That is why this cannot wait. Not because something terrible will happen instantly, but because each moment that passes without connection, makes that step easier for her to take. And once she takes it, the path becomes harder to redirect. My beloved child, you are not powerless here. You are positioned. Everything you have felt, everything you have noticed. Everything that brought you to this moment, it was preparing you for this. You were meant to be aware now, not later. You were meant to act now, not after the distance grows. And I know you are ready. I can feel it. But before you go, before you take that step toward her, there is one final truth you must understand, something deeper than everything I have said so far. Because this is not only about her. This is also about you. There is something within you, something unspoken. Something you have been carrying, that has shaped the way you connect with her. A pattern, a habit, a way of responding that you may not have noticed, but she has felt. It is subtle. But it matters. And when you see it, when you recognize it, you will understand why this situation unfolded the way it did, and how you can change it moving forward. But that realization requires you to look within, not just at her. And that is where everything truly shifts. So do not rush away yet. Because in the next part, I will reveal what that hidden pattern is, how it has influenced her without you realizing, and the exact words you need to speak that can reopen her heart before it closes further. And when you hear it, you will understand why this moment, right now, was never meant to be missed.